guys, this is Ace back with another Gundam video, and this time we're going to be looking at the high grade Alpha Azieru. This guy is really cool. Honestly speaking, he's very cool. The build itself is very simplistic. It is a high grade after all. There's no real inner skeleton. There's just basically the big pieces to make the body, as well as a few joints for the armor. It is somewhat of a transforming Gundam, and we'll come back to that a little bit later. This is a special edition as well. This is another something that one of my friends pointed out to me. He's not a normal high grade, he is somewhat of a collector's edition. So I'm actually happy I got this at such a good price, and actually I have it in my collection. Before we get into the actual figure itself, let me show you what you get in terms of accessories with this guy, which is not much. Absolutely not much. But what you do get is pretty damn cool. You get two small Gashapon style figures, I guess, of the Sazabi and the High New Gundam, and for each one of them you actually get its own clear base and stand. They're not really movable. There's no articulation in any of these guys for any of the pieces. They just literally just stand there looking good. And honestly speaking, for something of this size and more as an extra, they've given you a good amount of detail. I mean, if you look at the decals on that side, you look at the decal over here. Well, I say decal, but I think it's just basically a sticker or something that they've painted on. So there's a lot of detail that they've given it for something of this size that they didn't really have to. So I'm kind of happy that they did. Even the High New Gundam, they've done it really well. I mean, look, you've got all the paint apps there, you've got all the details, even the gun is in 2 different colors. So it's done pretty well, and it is a soft plastic. It is a very soft plastic, but it looks good, and that's the important point. It's got to look good. Apart from the actual base itself, there you go, which is pretty imposing. I mean, it's a huge base. And this is where the new Gundam's gonna go. This little peg over here is where the Sazabi will stand, and then these little pieces actually do come out if you wanna take them off, and you can probably paint them to give them a little bit more of an effect. But this is where the legs of the Alpha Azieru will go in and stand. So now, honestly speaking, when Alpha Azieru is in I guess mobile armor mode, I really don't know. If you guys know what this guy is supposed to be, is he supposed to be some kind of shuttle? Is he supposed to be a base? Some kind of armored ground transport carrier? I don't know what. Let me know, because I don't have much of a history on this guy. So it'll be great if you guys let me know what this guy is all about, and what he transforms into, etc. Now this guy is basically in his mode. There's not too much of a difference. I mean, you can tell these guys are going to be, his arms are tucked away over there, these are going to be his side skirts, and his legs are sticking out in the back. So you can tell this is a Gundam, but overall I think it's okay. And it is fairly big, I mean, it's not exactly small, he's big, and he looks okay. Now, I haven't done any details or lining or paneling or anything for this guy as yet. I'm probably going to do that a little bit later, although that's going to be more in terms of getting the panel lining done, getting the details out for this guy, because there's a lot of work that we can do. For example, if you look at the shoulders over here, you've got a lot of different panels over there. You can go and paint. They've given you, for example, with the thrusters, some of the details on the inside, but if you look on the outside, there's a lot of detail as well. And rather than just lining it, you could technically go in and give it a really nice paint job. These, by the way, you have to be very careful of. Now, correct me, but I think these are Alpha's version of funnels, and they're very loosely put in there. I mean, you can easily take them off. So when you're handling this guy will fall out. The only other accessories that you do get with this guy is for these. So you get, for each one of them, you get a small piece like this, which is kind of to simulate it flying through the air. So again, these are pieces that you could probably paint and make look really good. And that's it for the accessories. You don't really get anything else. There are no guns, there's no nothing. So basically, to transform this guy, you don't have to rack your brain too hard, because it's not exactly a difficult transformation. If we start at the bottom on this side, this piece we can easily fold away. We just have to put it in like that, and it's done. These legs and these front landing here are on, you could say, swivel joints over there at the hip, so we can just bring them down like this. Nothing to it. And the same thing on this side for the other leg. Now this thing is on a swivel joint, so for mobile armor mode it's outside, and then for Gundam mode we just bring it in on the inside. Nice and simple like that, and then we can bring down the skirts, both the front skirts and the back skirt. Now just be a little careful. As mentioned, these things are very insecure and they will pop out. Okay, so that's pretty much the bottom half done. Next thing we want to do is for the body itself. This thing in mobile armor mode is in front. For Gundam mode, we bring it to the back. Just like that. This piece is for the head, and we can take it out, just like that. The arms will come out like that, on both sides. And the head, we can just reach back from back here, by the way, and take this guy out. And that's because this guy is on a very, very small ball joint, which likes to pop out a lot. Which means if you do it too much, then you're going to have to keep putting it back in and out again. So you just do a little bit and take it out from the back. And there we go. We have Alpha Azieru in his Gundam mode. Now the Gundam mode itself is pretty impressive. I mean, just the size alone of this guy is gonna knock your head off. This guy is 1:400 and he is every bit the size. Now if we do compare to, for example, Sazabi, this is how he would compare in real life. So this guy is absolutely huge. Okay, just to give you a few size comparisons, and now this is going to be a little bit difficult, especially because this guy is so bloody big. But here we have Alpha Azieru, and now bear in mind this is a 1:400 scale. So even then he is big. Here he is next to 1:144 high grade 1.5 Gundam. So you can tell already he is absolutely massive compared to this guy. There's no comparison whatsoever. This guy just barely comes up to, you know, just his side skirts. And here he is next to Master Grade Delta Plus. So you can tell even though this is a 1:100 scale, the 1:400 scale is still bigger in terms of kit size as compared to a Master Grade. Even if you budget in for the wing height, this guy is still huge. Even his head comes up higher than this guy. So, you know, this guy is very cool, he's very large, and he is going to look good sitting on anyone's shelf. There's a lot of amazing detail that you can take out in this guy. Now, when they did say they have pre-painted it, so I mean, let me just bring it in. You can see there's a lot of detail that's already pre-painted. Here's something a little bit funny. I mean, if you look at the head, on this side you see it's black. But on this side you can see he has a green dot for the eye. Now this is pre-done. I have absolutely no idea why he has only one eye. Again, if this has got something to do with the storyline, please let me know. I'm very curious to know about it. There's a lot of detailing and painting that you can do for yourself. I mean, just look at the shoulder over here. Got all those panel lines over there, the little boxes. You've got all these details on the skirts. You've got a lot of detail on the legs that you can do. You know, even on the inside, you've got these thrusters which you can take out, and even though the thrusters, the inside part are red, you can do a lot on the outside. Look at these gun pods. I mean, they're really nice, and you know, but they're all black, and you can go in there, you can give a lot of detail to these guys. So for customizing, this guy is an amazing kit. There's a lot of details you can do. Now, I was a little bit worried in the beginning for these arms and how puny they look for in comparison to the whole kit, and it's somewhat true. They still do look puny, and I still feel they could do a lot better. But I can see why they're so puny. I mean, it's part of the transformation, and I'm sure it's part of the actual kit itself. So I'm okay with it. It's okay. It's not that bad. But definitely go in there, do a little bit of panel lining, a little bit of detail for this guy to look much better. And especially over here in the back, it looks so plain. You know, it's all brown. There's hardly any color there whatsoever. So you have to go in there. You have to do a little bit at least to make this guy stand out. What you want to do with it, again, this is totally up to you. And you've got all the details you want to do. Now, finally, this guy does look good in his Gundam mode, but unfortunately there's no real way for him to stand up, and that's simply because he has no feet. Even I believe in the anime or the game, this guy has thrusters over here, so he's always either in a state of hovering mode, I guess that's what you could probably call him. But this is why you have the stand, and what's going to happen is you actually put these in here like that, and that's how he's going to be standing, which is pretty cool. And then we take Sazabi out of his stand and we can put him on this little piece. Just make sure this doesn't come out. In fact, if you want, you can actually glue these in place because there's no articulation here anyway. So you put this over here with the hole. So you put that in there like that, and with the new Gundam we can put this here like that. And there we go. So we have Monsieur Sazabi and new Gundam in place with, ooh, that's the key, with, I can't even get it in the frame, it's that big. There we go. So there we go with Alpha Azieru and the two Sazabi and New Gundam on the stand. And you know, once you put it on the stand like that, this guy looks fantastic. Honestly speaking, he really does look good this way. Perfect for any shelf, especially if you get even just detail this guy with panel lines. You don't have to do anything more than that. Put him in this pose like this and it looks fantastic. Alright guys, this is Ace. I hope you've enjoyed the review. I will see you guys next time.